I had given my lady a list of dates last time.
Yes.
Does your ladyship have?
Yes.
Now, just a couple of minutes to state the facts. No, that is not an issue before your ladyship now. I remitted money to a Singapore bank under what is known as Liberalized Remittance Scheme, LRS. Perfectly legal and allowed under the RBI. Nobody has said that that was wrong. I invested it in a Singapore bank and used that money for trading in securities, selling, buying. I also borrowed some money from that bank to trade in securities. After about 2 years, I closed that trading account and repatriated the money. Whatever I had borrowed from the bank, I had paid the bank.
But then factually, there is no dispute.
No. That's why I said 2 minutes to get the background. It's not in dispute. I remitted the money back, whatever money I had taken from the India to the Singapore bank, and the profits were repatriated and taxes paid. There's no allegation about that. The allegation is that for borrowing from the Singapore bank, I should have got prior permission from the RBI. That's the allegation. Now, whether it's correct or not is again not for your ladyship to decide, but that will be decided by the RBI or whichever the authority is. The Enforcement Directorate Special Director, now kindly see the list of dates. It'll take 2 minutes again to complete it. 31/2/2011 to 8/2/2013, the transactions took place for about 2 years. Sit down, don't stand up. 18/11/22, show cause notice issued by the Special Director, Enforcement Directorate. 21/22, first compounding application filed by petitioner to the RBI, which is the compounding authority. 8/1/24, first compounding application return, saying that you had not given all the particulars, information, etc., with liberty to file a fresh compounding application. Before I filed the first fresh compounding application or decided my course of action, the Special Director passed an adjudication order on the show cause notice imposing a penalty of 10 crore. That is an issue here. Then I filed the fresh compounding application. The fresh compounding application on 11/9/24 was rejected by the RBI and returned as not maintainable by stating that compounding cannot be done once adjudication order is passed. I filed a writ petition. In the meanwhile, before the writ petition could be listed, the demand notice was issued and the second writ petition was filed, making the Enforcement Directorate a party. And then last time, your ladyship was pleased to allow accept my request. So the first writ petition is subsumed in the second writ petition. That may be withdrawn and dismissed. That has been withdrawn and dismissed. Now WPA 2065 is before. The only question of law is, after an adjudication order, can a compounding application be filed? That's the very short question. Now kindly see this compilation, because once, if your lordship holds that a compounding application is maintainable, end of the matter, then the adjudication order will take over and whatever remedy I have against the adjudication order will have to be pursued. If your ladyship holds that a compounding application is maintainable, then the RBI order rejecting my application has to be quashed and they have to consider the compounding. Now kindly have the compilation.
Yes.
Kindly see FEMA. Section 4.
The same compilation submitted on the last occasion.
Yeah.
We have a copy.
You must be having the act with you.
But I believe that it is not only the act. There are certain more things.
It's all right. You can have a copy. You can have a copy. Now kindly see section 4. I'll quickly run through it. Section 4, save as otherwise provided in this Act, no person resident in India shall acquire, hold, own, possess, or transfer any foreign exchange, foreign security, or any immovable property situated outside India. Not material to the issue, just giving the background of the law. Then section 13, penalties. If any person contravenes any provision of this act or contravenes any rule, regulation, etc., he shall, upon adjudication, be liable to a penalty up to thrice the sum involved in such contravention, where such amount is quantifiable, or up to 2 lakh rupees, where the amount is not quantifiable, and where such contravention is a continuum. So it's penalty for violation of section 4. Then section 15. The special director himself, the appeal is to the appellate tribunal. I hope I'm making myself clear.
Yes.
So the special director, our case is special director. Our case is a special director has passed the appeal. So there can't be an appeal to the special director. The appeal is to the special appellate tribunal. But some other officer of the enforcement directorate could have passed the appeal, depending upon his territorial and monetary jurisdiction. And then the appeal would lie to the special director of the enforcement director. But if the special director himself passes the adjudication order, the appeal is to the appellate tribunal. So there are 2 avenues of appeal. That's all that I want to show in the act. Now kindly see compounding rules. Serial number 3, 67. Issue rule 11. No contravention shall be compounded if an appeal has been filed under section 17 or section 19 against an adjudication order holding a person has contravened a provision and is liable to a penalty under section 13. If I file an appeal either under section 17 to the special director of appeals, or in a suitable case under section 19 to the appellate tribunal, it cannot be compounded anymore. It supports my interpretation of section 15, that a compounding will arise only after somebody finds that I have committed a contravention. Before committing a contravention, I cannot compound. Section 15 and section 11. Now, kindly, my lady may read it. Section 15 at page 18 and rule 11 at page 70. Please keep it side by side and read it. Any contravention under section 13, which according to me is clear enough, any contravention under section 13 may, on an application made by the person committing such contravention, be compounded. But no contravention shall be compounded if an appeal has been filed. So either I can compound after the contravention is found against me, either I can compound or I can file an appeal. If I file an appeal, I cannot compound. The submission is compounding can be done only after contravention is found, but before an appeal is filed. That gap alone, I can file a compound. Now kindly see what else. No, this is not necessary. This is not. Now kindly see serial number 4, master direction. It starts at page 73. This is issued and updated in 2016. My case, the show cause notice, was issued in 2022. Look at paragraph 2. Instructions issued on compounding of contraventions under FEMA have been compiled in this master direction. The list of underlying circulars which form the basis of this master direction may bring the instructions contained in this master direction to the notice of the constituents. The master direction will be updated from time to time as and when fresh instructions are issued. Now kindly come to page 81. .4 is 6.3, not necessary. 6.4 is the relevant instruction explaining the act and the rules and how will they apply. In case where adjudication has been done by the Directorate of Enforcement and an appeal has been filed under section 17 or 19, no contravention can be compounded in terms of Rule 11. The applicant shall confirm in the undertaking required to be furnished as per Annex 3 along with a compounding application that they have not filed an appeal under section 17. This reinforces my argument. Compounding can be done only after adjudication, but before an appeal is filed. Now kindly see Annexure 3. Is it there? No. Oh. Annexure 3, in the compounding application, I have to give an undertaking that I have not filed an appeal. The rule, the instruction is clear. Then what else? No, what is this? Now, what is the contravention found against me? Because that will depend upon who is the compounding authority. Which is the section which says compounding authority in 3A's. Rule 4, please. Now, kindly see the compounding rules. It starts at page 67. Rule 4. I should have shown that. I'm sorry. Rule 11 I read. Rule 4. Kindly see Rule 4 at 68. I'm sorry I skipped that, missed that rule. RBI is a normal compounding authority. The rule will make it clear. Kindly see Rule 3, previous page. Compounding authority means the persons authorized by the central government under subsection 1 of section 15, namely an officer of the Enforcement Directorate, not below the rank of Deputy Director, an officer of the Reserve Bank of India. Over the page. 4. If any person contravenes any provisions of FEMA, except clause A of section 3 of that act, in case where the sum involved is so and so, the Assistant General Manager of RBI. In case where the sum involved is 10 lakhs but less than 40 lakhs, Deputy General Manager of RBI. In case where the sum involved is 40 lakhs but less than 100 lakhs, General Manager of RBI. In case where the sum involved is more than 100 lakhs, but the Chief General Manager. So RBI is the authority normally for all contraventions, except where section 3A is contravened by FEMA. Then it becomes the Enforcement Directorate. Now kindly see Rule 5. If any person contravenes the provisions of section 3A of the Foreign Exchange Management Act, the Deputy Director, the Additional Director, the Special Director with Deputy Legal Advisor, and then the Director. So the compounding is divided into two parts. If violation is of 3A, section 3A, the ED officers are the compounding authority. If any other contravention, it's the RBI. It again reinforces my argument that compounding can be done only after adjudication. Otherwise, it's meaningless. I mean, before the adjudication, I can't compound. I must know, number one, which is the section I've violated. If I have violated section 3A, the compounding authority is the Enforcement Directorate. If the violation is of any other section, I will have to apply the RBI. Then who is the authority will also depend upon the amount involved in the contravention, because there are gradations. Therefore, my basic point is compounding can only be done after adjudication. Now kindly see. Now kindly see the adjudication order. What am I found guilty of? The adjudication order starts at WP. Which page? No, where did it start? Order starts at page 84. Order starts at 84. I'm not reading, it's a long order. Only one page I have to read. Starts at 84 in the main writ petition. Kindly come to 135. 134 actually, the last 10 lines, alleged contravention of provisions of section 3A and 3B. 3A is the special section, which compounding is the ED. All other sections, the compounding authority is the RBI. So 3A becomes relevant. What am I guilty of according to the adjudicating authority? As regards the alleged contravention of provisions of 3A and 3B of the Foreign Exchange Management Act, for the sake of discussion and easy reference, I hereby reproduce the relevant provisions. Then, I find that the adjudicating authority, I find that alleged contravention of section 3A is not sustainable, as it is not a case where noticee have dealt in any foreign exchange or foreign security or transferred any foreign exchange or foreign security to any person who is not an authorized person. Since all the transactions have taken place through a bank, therefore, alleged contravention of section 3A is not legally sustainable. I also find that the alleged contravention of section 3B is not sustainable, as it is not a case of making any manner otherwise through banking channel, instant cases not of hawala transfer or to transfer money abroad through informal unauthorized channel, since all transactions have taken place through bank. Therefore, allegation of contravention of 3B is also not legally sustainable. So I have been exonerated of 3A. If moment I'm exonerated of 3A, the only compounding authority is the RBI. Only in 3A, the ED becomes the compounding authority. Now I file an application for compounding. Now kindly have the list of dates. I'll finish in another 5 minutes. Kindly have the list of dates. Adjudication as order is passed on 28/3/24. Finding me guilty of some other section, not 3A. Penalty is how much? Penalty of 10 crore is imposed. I see the order. I see the penalty. Your Lordship may now kindly look at it from the affected person's point of view. He sees the order. He first has to see what is the penalty. Suppose the penalty is 10 lakhs. I may decide I won't compound it, I won't appeal it, I'll pay the 10 lakhs and go. So depends upon the penalty, number one. Number two, depends upon which is the section I've violated. If it is 3A, I must file it to the ED. If it is any other section other than 3A, I'll have to file it to the RBI. So I cannot decide the compounding authority unless I see the order. Therefore, I see the order of 28/3/24. I find that it is passed by the special director. Appeal is to the appellate tribunal and is imposed a penalty of 10 crore, but it does not find me guilty of 3A. Therefore, I decide, since the amount is 10 crore and I have not been found guilty of 3A, I file it to the RBI. RBI, I file it on 10/5/24. It is rejected on 11/9/24. Now kindly see the order of rejection, 165. WP 165. It's a short order. Please refer to your application dated May 10, received in Reserve Bank of India on May 13, seeking compounding. In this connection, since the adjudication order has already been passed by the adjudicating authority with respect to the contraventions applied for in your compounding application cannot be processed. Therefore, the caption compounding application is being written. The only reason is adjudication order has been passed, therefore I can't compound it. Where is the compounding application? Now kindly see the compounding application which has been returned. It starts at page 141. There's 3A mentioned. Now at paragraph 5 at page 142, I have been held guilty of contravening regulation 3, not section 3A. That your lordship saw at page 134, 135. Then paragraph, page 147, paragraph 6.12. It should be further noted, applicant has not filed an appeal under section 17 or 19. Because moment I file an appeal, I lose the right of compound. Which page? Now kindly see this paragraph. Then I conclude my application at 152 and at 153, kindly see mail ID. Any other information relevant to the case. Applicant herein undertakes to provide any other additional information as might be sought. Furthermore, the applicant also seeks the indulgence of this compounding authority to provide it a personal hearing in the matter so as to enable the applicant to place its submission in more detail before a decision is arrived at in the matter. Am I entitled to a personal hearing? Yes, the section says so. Kindly see the FEMA, the compilation, page 70. Page 70. Good. This is Rule 8, Sub-Rule 2 at page 70. The rule starts at 69. The compounding authority shall pass an order of compounding after affording an opportunity of being heard to all the concerned as expeditiously as possible and not later than 180 days. Therefore, natural justice is inherent. It is also specifically mentioned in the rule. Now, my complaint is, and I'm concluding, my complaint is one, the basis of rejection is wrong. Because adjudication order has been passed, you cannot compound, is to be stated to be rejected. I'm sorry, I'm borrowing a judge's language. This argument is hollow. Compounding can only be filed after adjudication. And I must know which offense I have committed. Depending upon that, I will choose the compounding authority. Second, I must know what is the penalty. If it is a minimum penalty, I may not compound or appeal. If it is a case which I think, or my legal advisor tells me, this should be set aside an appeal. Why don't you file an appeal? Why should you pay compounding? Sure, I may file an appeal. The alternative available is I may file a compounding. All these avenues are open to me to decide whether an appeal should be filed or compounding should be filed. If a compounding should be filed, to which authority should I file the compounding? And what is the compounding amount? The compounding amount is a matrix. Your lordship see the matrix at compilation page 83. All that is for the RBI to decide. The matrix is there at page 83. Guidance note to the compounding authorities. This is the matrix. It says for this offense, this amount, what is the compounding? Your lordship need not go into it. So I have a choice after the adjudication. One, I'm sorry, I'm repeating myself. I'll conclude. I won't repeat myself again. One, whether I should accept the penalty order and pay the penalty. That's available. One. Two, whether I should file an appeal or I should file a compounding. If my case is so strong, my legal advisor says appeal will be allowed, I can go to the appeal. I don't have to pay the compounding fee. If I decide to file the compounding, I must know which is the authority, 3A or any other section. Then I can file a compounding. Looking at the matrix, I keep 10 crore at one hand and the compounding matrix table, and I decide this is advantageous to me and I'll do it. Therefore, my submission is I can only file a compounding after adjudication, number one. And before the RBI rejected my application or returned my application, it is bound to give me a hearing. I propose to return your application because you cannot file a compounding application after adjudication. I would have explained it. What I'm explaining to your lordship, I'll explain it. Anything else? Milad, I think, although it's not for your lady to decide, it's RBI to decide. I think the compounding in this case, I've compounded it, I've calculated it, not compounded it, I'm sorry. I've calculated it at page 154 of the writ petition. 154. It's not binding on your lordship. I've compounded it. It amounts to about 21 lakhs. 21 lakhs. Therefore, I think it's advantageous for me to compound it. Since the RBI is the compounding authority in this case, I'll approach the RBI. I'll pay 21 lakhs according to the matrix. Why should I pay 10 crore? Therefore, the order, impugned order, is illegal, without jurisdiction, based on a totally misdirection of law, that a compounding application cannot be filed after adjudication. I pray that the writ petition be allowed and the order returning the compounding application be quashed and the matter remitted to the RBI to compound the matter in accordance with law. Those are the submissions.